Communications and Media, CM203. My name is GPolo and I'm going to be your instructor this semester. I want to give you a little tour of our class, some content, how the course is going to work, and where to find um, important information. So let's start with announcements on your menu on the left. And here you have a brief introduction of the course. It says zero textbook course, so you don't have to spend money on textbooks. Here's my email, liberca.polo@csi.cuny.edu. It also has a breakdown on assignments, the weight of your assignments and discussions, and your final curated portfolio, which is your final project. Now, if you see here, you have 14 works to submit, 6% each. What that means is between assignments and discussions, which are different, you have 14 pieces at each point each, and then you have 78 points because the lowest grade gets dropped off. So one important thing about assignments and discussions is every week you have to submit some work. Some weeks you're going to have to submit an assignment. Some weeks you're going to have to engage in discussion boards. And I'll show the difference between the two in a little bit. One important thing to note is that all your submissions are due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. So midnight on that Sunday. So you have weekly assignments, and every week on Sunday at 11:59 you're required to submit your assignments. If in any case you have issues with your deadline and you need an extension or you need to get more feedback before submitting, please email me directly. So here, let's jump into our weekly materials. And here you'll see a rundown of week by week what we'll be reviewing, the content that you need to review, and also the assignments that you need to complete. So this area here, it's just a note that separates each of our weeks and what are we learning in each of the units. So for instance here, perspectives and important concepts, so that you don't have to do anything here. This is just a title page. And then on week 1, I'm going to click. And then you have here, getting started. So what is it that we're going to address this week? Learning outcomes. So you understand why you're doing the things you're doing. So the assignments and the material that you're covering. This structure is true to each of our weeks. So you'll have videos to watch. You would have some articles or some references of other websites that you have to look at. And then you have either a discussion or an assignment. In this case, week 1, you have 2 discussions. One is an icebreaker because we want to learn about each other. So it's just a way to kind of warm up the platform, but also share a little bit of who you are and the things that you do in terms of media. And then your first work is a discussion where you're going to investigate and discuss your favorite media outlet. Now, if you see, your icebreaker kind of starts warming you up on your first discussion. Okay. Now, the difference with discussion and assignments is that when you go in your discussion, when you click, what you're going to do is you're going to create a thread to answer the prompt, right? So here's the prompt, and then you would add a subject title, and then here is where you're going to paste your document. I suggest everybody creates your post on a Word document, proofread it, make sure everything's good, have your APA references at the end of the text all the time, and then copy that text and paste it on your thread. Don't attach it, because if you attach it, then everybody's going to have to go to your file, download it, or open it to be able to read it. One important aspect of your discussions is that you need to answer or reply to at least one of your classmates' posts. So even if you see a discussion and it doesn't have it, when you go to the rubrics are going to count that as part of your grade. So your contribution to the community is also noted on your rubric. So you have to make sure that you complete that as well. And you can always go directly to your discussion boards to see the discussions that we will have this semester. So we have week 1 is a discussion. We have week 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 12. So these are the weeks where you're not going to have an assignment. You're going to have to submit whatever work you have to produce, submit it as a discussion. The idea with the discussion being that you are sharing with your peers, right? So it's not a one-way conversation. It's an open discussion with the whole class. So I'll go back to weekly materials, and then we'll talk about the syllabus in a bit. So let's say week 3 and see how each week has the bracket. So we open up the module on Monday, and then we close it on Sunday. Next one, same thing, right? We open on Monday, we close it on Sunday. So here you have some things to watch. You have some links. Even though we spend a lot of time, the department and we spend a lot of time reviewing your documents, reviewing what's on Blackboard, reviewing that all these links work. From time to time, links might not work. So I'm also relying on you to send me an email as soon as you realize that something's not working, something is not uploading, whatever problems you have, you can let me know as soon as possible. So see how here we have an assignment, right? So the actual icon changes. So here, instead of having like sticky notes, what you have is a page, like a little book page. So here, when you go through your prompts and you have it ready, you click here. And what this is going to do is going to give you the option to submit, right? So here, see how it says write? Instead of writing it for your assignment, you're going to browse your computer and you're going to attach it, right? And then hit submit. So that's the difference in terms of logistics, the difference between submitting discussions and submitting assignments. They're graded with the same weight. Assignments and discussions are 6 points. Now the rubrics are different because when you're writing a paper, then there's a certain structure and tone that you have to follow that you don't necessarily need to follow so formally in a discussion, although you have to follow your prompts, right? Mainly the difference is assignments being submitted to me and only to me for review, and then I'll give you individual feedback and grading, whereas the discussions are open assignments, right? So they're open projects, so everybody can comment on them. So we have like a broader conversation together, okay? Here you have your syllabus and the rubrics. So you can look at the rubrics for assignments, for all discussions, and then your final assignment rubric, your final assignment being your portfolio. Now you can go to your syllabus and you can download them. We have 2 versions. One is a document, a Word document. The other one is a PDF. So either or, you can download those, right? Make sure you have it handy. If anything happens and we need to alter something, I would let you know. I would make amends and then re-upload for you to have a fresh copy. Now here you have again course description, programs goals, and your learning objectives. So the idea with this course is that you're introduced to various communication channels and outlets, kind of an introduction or a review of what is media literacy, digital formats, analog formats, and so on. So we'll have an exploration in terms of backgrounds of this media, but also moving forward where like new media, new technology, terms like convergence, and so on. So here is week by week what we're going to do. So here you have your themes for each of the weeks, and then on the right, your assignment or your work. Let's not call it assignment, but work. And then 1 week, this week 1 and 2 you have discussions. Week 3 is an assignment, right? So I've created some sort of a pace in terms of having discussions and assignments. You can see it. So we have a few weeks, in a group talking to one another, discussing ideas, and then you have an assignment, a paper assignment that you have to submit individually just for my review. Okay, we have Thanksgiving break, November 26th to 29th, and then from December 7th to the 20th, you will be working on curating pieces for your final e-portfolio. Now, again, my suggestion is that all work that you do, be it discussions or assignments, you produce them on Word documents, save them in a folder, and then submit as you need to submit them. Because by the end, when you go to your e-portfolio, then things happen. It's like, well, I had it on my discussion and now it's closed, or I can't find it, and so on. So make sure that you keep your pieces handy. Okay. Here you have a breakdown of your assignments. As I said before, 70A, right? 6 point by 14, the lowest grade gets dropped off. Okay, so it gives you a chance to, you know, up your grade by having those extra points that can be dropped. Okay, and then you have, etiquette and academic integrity. So I'm hoping that everybody can read that thoroughly. Um, so that you can find on your syllabus and progress. Okay. Um, there's screencasting. I'm not gonna go over that, and your e-portfolios. The links are here. So when we get to those assignments, you'll see the support you have in creating screencasting, and then the structures of your portfolio. And we have great support in producing those. So this is like big brushstrokes of our course. I hope to see you soon. Please always check announcements. Announcements, you should have notifications on, because this is the way I'll be most directly connecting with you in what's happening next week, any changes, any news, anything that was unexpected that we need to modify, and so on. So I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great end of the summer.